Rad, welcome back to the Rad Stream, friends. Talking about rapid app development, all things software development, no code, finding users, getting the word out there, marketing yourself as a freelancer, marketing yourself as an agency. All of these things are things that I like to talk about, areas that I like to talk about, giving product feedback. What caught my eye today is an article by Will Erickson of Momentum Group. Will is a Bubble developer in Australia, and he started. I believe he's the founder of Momentum Group. I'm pretty sure that was him. I remember having a chat with him when he was first getting started with that, and it was just him. He's hired like a team since then. It's growing very fast. Seems to be really growing that company out, which is awesome. And he and I started the Bubble boot camps. Started teaching the Bubble boot camps at around the same time. So it's awesome to see him just killing it. So he wrote an article. Actually, it's not even that. Well, he wrote it in September. Kind of describing what no code is not, which is a topic that I like to talk about quite a bit. So I want to see if our philosophies overlap a little bit and align. Again, I've talked about this, quite a bit. That I don't really like the term no code. I don't think it's good to describe something by what it isn't. And I also think it kind of puts tension between people who code and no coders unnecessarily. So his article is no code doesn't mean no engineering, no design, or no product management. Let's see what Will has to say here. No code's marketing promises the world to non-technical founders, but leaves them high and dry. Yeah, right out of the gate. Starting strong here, Will. I like this. Yeah, I piss and moan about no code's marketing as well because I think it sets the wrong expectations. I don't think it's any one company's fault. I think there's a reason that this marketing started this way. It was attracting people to the platform and trying to find their first users because building software has notoriously been a difficult and time intensive and high effort, high training thing to do. So the promise that this can now be done easily, yes, it's going to attract people who have a software idea that they want to build out. But as soon as you start scratching the surface a little bit, you realize it's not as easy as the marketing team makes it seem. Running a no-code agency, I often hear, "Ooh, can you build me a copy of a major web platform X for an insanely low amount of money? Y?" Yes. To which I normally respond, why are you rebuilding something that is already out there? That's stupid. You shouldn't do that. That's not an original idea, and you're never going to catch up with Uber building a copy of Uber. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, and by the way, guys, it shouldn't be that big a deal. As a savvy bootstrapping founder, I got this. I already bought a $200 template app, so there's only a couple of days' work in this tops. Yeah, that comes up quite a bit. That is a frustrating conversation to have over and over again. The template. I bought a template. People think that templates, like bubble templates, will save you time, which does make sense. It's a template, and you paid money for it. Like the impression is that it's going to give you kind of a leg up in building your idea, but in reality, you just wind up having to figure out whoever created that template. You have to figure out their logic and kind of understand what they built, which takes way longer than actually building it yourself. So it's weird. It's I don't recommend working from templates. Now, there are really some great people out there leveraging no-code tools and doing some really interesting, valuable work, but a lot of the market is confused by the approach, thanks to the misleading advertising created by many no-code platforms. Will is going deep, going hard here. I like it. Very direct. What no-code does and doesn't mean. When approached by the "I want to build Instagram for $500" founder, I politely direct them to the multitude of bargain basement freelancers that can pay by the hour to wade through all the ways that said template does not meet their brief, knowing that they will most likely give up after exhausting their meager budget. Shit! Damn, Will. Shots fired. I love it. Or in a few cases, they come back to me months later when they realize that everything they did was a slow, painful process, not fit for purpose, not properly planned, and embarrassing. If the product works and they do get a degree of traction, it will need to be rebuilt with good scale, good design, scale, reliability, maintainability, and security in mind. Agreed. You can't build a sustainable platform off of a template that you did not build. How to think about no-code solutions. If you're considering no-code to build your web app, it's a great choice. Tools like Bubble allow you to build a custom web app for 20 to 40% of the budget and time of custom web development, not 0 to 1%. Tools like, let me reread that. Tools like Bubble allow you to build a custom web app for 20 to 40% of the budget and time of a custom web development, not 0 to 1%. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's a very interesting way to say that. Like this 20 to 40% of what you would spend on custom code, a custom coded app. 20 to 40, not 0 to 1%. Very, very well said. But you still need good people to build your solution if you want to do it fast and well. Scratch that, you need really great people. Okay, you could learn to do it yourself and then actually do it yourself. Oh, and then do sales and marketing and run a business and on and on. Time is money. Okay, you're not directly paying yourself, but you need to put value on your time. So the DIY option is likely to be more expensive than the agency route. Wow, never thought of that. Never thought of it that way. The DIY option is likely to be more expensive than the agency route. Let that sink in for a second. By the way, the heat is out in my house. It's fucking freezing here. It's like 20, 25 degrees. And the heater went out in my apartment here. So I've been wearing like a hoodie and gloves all day in the house. No code doesn't circumvent the process. If you want the outcome, you still need to trust the process and follow it. So here it is, my definitive list of what no code doesn't mean. Please email me if I've forgotten anything. No code does not mean no skill, no planning, no engineering, no design, no product management, no data architecture, no application architecture. I think you can tell here that Will comes from a programming background and he's choosing to use Bubble as a way to build software. He's built a business and his livelihood on it, which I love to talk about these types of people because I think it's a ringing endorsement for low code tools. If people who code will choose to use this over coding. Again, not all situations, right? Like, yes, it's very clear. Still need code. Code is not going anywhere. And there's certainly times where a custom coded solution is needed, but I think the majority of use cases can probably be built with a tool like Bubble in this day and age. No application architecture, no security configuration, no workflow planning, no documentation, no usability testing, no brand, no copyright, no data validation, project management, no contracts, no Jesus Christ, okay. No written scope, no contracts, no clarity, no product briefs, no iterations, no governance, and no bugs, and no work. All very true. All very true. Would I add anything to this list? Maybe just like no effort. Right. I think that's I hear a lot from people that I speak to, similar context. If I knew what you knew, I could build this in an hour. No, that's not how it works. Just because I know how to build something, there's still, this is what I think, like, people who haven't built software think that, like, if you do know how to build software, that everything is just easy. It's not easy. It's never easy. There's always problems to solve, right? It's not like I ever go into a project from the beginning and know exactly the way the project is going to go. You have an idea. You have a broad sense of how to approach the first set of problems. and you work through those slowly. Well, that's, slowly, iteratively, one by one, I guess I would say. But you never know, like you never know what roadblocks you're gonna hit from the beginning. You're gonna hit a ton of roadblocks. Almost everything is a roadblock, and you just kind of work through that and try not to get discouraged. Um, but it's not that's why it's so difficult to get a time estimate for building something, especially when it's a new idea, right? Which it should be, right? You shouldn't be building a custom solution or a copy of something that's already out there. Why would you do that? Just a waste of money, waste of your time. Any an inconvenient truth for no code marketing. Yesterday, I was talking with one of my senior devs, and he said in his blunt, no filter manner, all of these no code platforms promise you that non technical people can build apps, but that's a lie. There is always some code and engineering thinking required. Very true. The same thing plays out in the enterprise space. My IT manager friends in schools, local government, and healthcare tell me that they fear no code spreading through their organizations like cancer. They fear no code spreading through organizations like cancer. Why? The term shadow IT means end users going rogue and developing their own solutions, which are not supported by IT and risk falling over when the citizen developers leave or move roles. There's little guidance on or structure for no code, and if you need to find the expertise and bring it into the organization to provide the structure, guess what? You end up paying professionals big consulting dollars. Back to my dev. He went on to say, every single one-on-one no-code app has some code. Every single one of our no-code app has some code. Well, it's really all code, right? It's 100% code. It's software. You don't see the code. It's code with a GUI, but the code is there, guaranteed. And that's it. You can't get around needing expertise, even in the world of no code. This is true whether the expertise is a little bit of code here or there, modify the front end or connect to an API. It is true for the expertise of people who know how to plan and structure applications. And then there is the user experience. You can build an app for $1,000, but it won't be particularly usable or give the perception of quality or trust. So why do we use no code then? Another quote from our project manager this week when discussing how many meetings we should have per week on a project. I forget that in tools like Bubble, what used to take weeks takes days, and what used to take days takes hours. This sums it up perfectly. In the right hands, no code tool allows projects to move quickly, very quickly. Those hands might not be cheap, but in many cases they can accomplish a 3 to 10 times multiple of what their coder colleagues can do in the same time frame. There is a strong business case for no code, but there's still costs involved, and you need to count these costs and view them as an investment in your business and future. All right. Advice to bootstrapping founders. If you are in the category I described earlier, I would like to offer a small suggestion. Leading the conversation with I'm bootstrapping, I really don't have a budget is not a good starting point. Also, by the way, all my money is tied up in other projects right now, so you would consider investing your time in my random side hustle 47 at no cost for a stake in my company won't go down well. Yeah, that's no one is going to want to do that, right? No developer, no code or not no code, is going to want to take equity in lieu of cash, in lieu of payment to develop something, especially if it's a new idea. If you already have traction and you're looking for a technical co-founder, maybe you can convince somebody to do that. But if you just have an idea and you've got 4 other projects going on, no one's going to be interested in taking a stake in your company because it's not a company yet, right? And chances are you're probably going to lose interest in the idea because you've got 5 other side hustles. Don't do that. Don't ask people that. If this is so important to you and you're building it, you should really be focusing on one project at a time. I feel like you can't. There's no way to successfully manage 3 to 4 projects at the same time, especially in the very beginning phases. No way. You are the founder. You are the one who needs to find the resources to realize your vision. Don't expect talent to pay for it with their time. If they are good, they will already have plenty of paid work opportunities. No code is a smart choice, but it's not a magic pill. Get out there and make it happen. If you do want to get a sense of the value of code versus no code, take your idea to 2 to 3 full custom code agencies and get an estimate of time and cost. Ooh, this is an interesting thing. If you want to get a sense of the value of code versus no code, take your idea to 2 to 3 full custom code agencies and get an estimate of time and cost. Then come talk to a no code agency and do a cost comparison. You'll be pleasantly surprised at the difference. All right, wonderful article here, Will. Thank you for doing this. I want to check out some of your other articles probably in later streams, but I pretty much agree with everything that Will is saying here. And I think, like, again, the marketing of no code definitely sets bad expectations for agencies and people who are trying to learn the platforms. Again, I understand why it's been done this way, because you needed to attract people to the platforms in the first place. Like, I probably would have never found Bubble if the marketing wasn't the way it was. So I get it, but it's become, or it's there's an emphasis on, maybe it's a comparison, maybe more of a comparison. Not just saying it's fast and easy is not enough. Maybe it's more of a comparison to code, right? It's Will points it out, I think, perfectly here. It's like 20 to 40% of the time and cost it would take to custom code your idea. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair analysis, or a fair comparison. So I think we have to think about it that way. But yes, but you know what else? But like, even all of this, all of the things that Will points out is like not going away. The engineering, the planning, the scoping, the documentation, all of those things, in addition to finding a trustworthy development partner to work with, that does not go away, right? That doesn't go away. It's still a high effort, high skill thing to build software, and no code is not changing that, right? Like, it's still a skill and an effort to be developed, and you need to find somebody that's going to kind of stick by you with that. All right, that's my thoughts on this. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The RAD stream, Rapid App Development. I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks.